Tutorial, Monday.com project management tutorial. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys step by step on how you can build your own workflow management using Monday.com. From your basic setup for task management to portfolio management and setting up requests, approvals, and so much more. You can do it all directly on Monday.com. Now, Monday.com has diversified. They have 4 separate products right now. First off, they have one of the most popular products out there, which is Monday.com's work management tool, which we will be focusing on today. But they also have Monday CRM, Monday Dev, and Monday Service. All 3 of these platforms focus on one individual need for a business. So you can use your Monday suite to completely set up your business and optimize it. So to get started with Monday.com, simply head on over to Monday.com and then click on Get Started. Now we will be discussing pricing at the end of this video. From here, you're going to proceed by signing up. You can sign up with your Google account. So we're just going to be typing in our email over here, and then I'm going to click on Continue. Once you do that, you're going to enter your full name and then your password. Then you're going to add your account name. Usually this is going to be the brand name, business name, company name, or department name. So for us, this is going to be called Spencer, as that is the business name. Then simply click on Continue. After that, we're just going to select work, and then we're going to add our current role, and then just click on Continue. After that, you're going to add the number of people that are on your team and how many people work in your company, and then click on Continue. Then you're just going to add what you would like to manage first. So for us, let's say it's project management. And then after that, we're just going to click on Continue over here to proceed onto our Monday.com work management dashboard. Now, whenever you're getting started with Monday.com, it's really easy because it has a really nice dashboard set up for you and you can intuitively build upon it. So when you're adding your team members, simply type in their email address over here and choose the level of permissions you want them to have. Let's say I want to add this person as a member, and then I'm just going to click on Invite to your team. Once you do that, you can get started with building your first project. Usually this is going to be one individual project. For me, let's say this is going to be our pop-up shop project. And then I'm just going to click on Next. After that, you're going to select the relevant column for this particular board, which means that you're going to specify what types of fields are you going to specify for the tasks that are added within this board. So I do want budget, I do want notes, I do have priorities, statuses, owners. I think that is all that I will need. After that, you can choose your real-time insights so you can customize the widgets that you want to include within your dashboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and proceed. And then you're going to choose your layout. You can add a Kanban layout, you can add a table layout, cards, calendars, timelines, or Gantt. Now for us, I am going to be proceeding with a Gantt view because this is a pop-up shop project and I would want to ensure that everything is done on time. Then you can list your project. So this is going to be our pop-up within our project. So let's say this is going to be our venue or product setup. And then we have maybe our decor, and then I'm just going to click on Get Started. Once we do that, our first board will be created, which is going to help us in just building on our space. Now, this is what your dashboard is going to look like, but first we're going to verify our email so that this pop-up on the top is going to be removed. So simply go into your dashboard and then you're going to see a welcome email and a confirmation email. So we're going to click on Yes, It's Me over here. And once we do that, this is just going to confirm our email so that we can get started with Monday.com. Now, once you do that, you guys can see on the left, it says main workspace. Now, if you want to rename this, you can also rename it. So you can click on rename workspace, and rather than having it be called main workspace, I'm going to change this to be called Spencer. Then on the left, you will see the first board that we created and a dashboard for our reporting. Now within our first board, the main table is a list view. And then after that, we have a Gantt view. Now I'm going to click on auto fit and I'm just going to resize it over here. Now I don't want my main table to look like this. So I am going to drag my Gantt view over here and I'm going to rename this view. Instead of a Gantt view, this is going to be our planning section. And then after that, we have a main table, which is going to show all of the tasks. So I'm going to rename this maybe, or add a simple Kanban view for our task list, because usually it's really easy to visually organize your tasks here. So we're going to have our task list over here. Now going back into our main table, you guys can see we added 3 tasks, and I'm just going to remove this third one over here simply by clicking on the checkbox icon. Now you guys can see that this is the task, and whenever you create a task on monday.com, you can actually make it a bit more detailed by adding things such as a description. You can mention people, add files, add GIFs, emojis, and you even have access to an AI writing tool. On your top right, you have formatting options, which include a checklist. Having a checklist is going to make it easier for you to have sub-items within your project or within your tasks. So this just makes it really easy for you to ensure that larger tasks are accomplished on time, simply because when you have the larger task that is going to have multiple different sub-items, people can accomplish those tasks because they know what they're meant to do and what needs to be done when. So now, moving forward, we're going to go on ahead and proceed with our basic setup. So after that, you can even add updates or comments. You have the owner, so you can assign your task to any one person like so. Then we have some default status labels. Now, if these are not relevant to you, you can click on edit labels and edit your labels. Because my labels are defining the category, or if these tasks are completed or not, I'm going to delete this column altogether because it's not necessary, because I've already categorized my things under to do and then completed. I have due dates, notes, and I'm going to remove notes for now. And then I have a budget, timeline, and then dependent on. So I can further proceed, and if I want to add something such as approvals, or if I want to add any other type of column, I can click on the plus icon. This allows me to create multiple different types of icons, including statuses, timelines, people, numbers, tags, dates, and other types of columns. You can even connect 2 different boards on monday.com as long as they are within the same workspace. Simply click on connect and you can mirror information from other columns. Now for us, I want a specific tag for this, and I want this to be a specific column that is going to designate our potential revenue maybe, or something else along those lines. So for that, I want to add status, and I'm not going to add status as I normally would. I would add the status column, and I'm going to change this to department maybe, or team. Let's say I have teams within my business and I have to designate which team is meant to look after this particular task. Then I'm going to click on the labels and I can edit these labels. I'm going to name it Team A, Team B, and Team C for easy categorization. You would obviously name them accordingly. And then I'm just going to click on the colors and I'm going to change the colors to whatever colors that I want instead. Once done, just like so, I can easily click on what team is doing what. Now from here, I want to proceed with adding a couple of other tasks. So I'm going to be using a simple AI tool like ChatGPT to create tasks for a product or for a pop-up at a store. And then here's a list of, defining objectives, budget and timeline, so on and so forth. Now you guys can see that we have a few different tasks that we are going to be adding. And if I copy these as it is and I go ahead and click on paste, what monday.com allows you to do, and this is what I would like to demonstrate, is that instead of typing it all in one item, it actually creates different tasks based upon each line. So you guys can see that it has created my tasks accordingly. So I'm going to remove these heading tasks over here. And once I do that, you will actually see what these tasks are going to look like, especially when you're working on larger projects like so. So I'm going to delete all of these, and now I have all of my tasks added. Now, because I want to specify when each task is done, this is a larger project, I have the ability to go into the planning tab, and then on the left, you guys can see it's currently empty. Currently, it doesn't have anything. So what I want to do is I want to proceed with adding my tasks under planning. So I'm going to go on ahead and auto fit my tasks over here. And I can even do this if I am using a different type of view, such as our timeline view, which we can add in the form of a calendar. And then when you add your calendar over here, you guys can see you have additional widgets. You can add this in the form of a widget or a full screen calendar. And then you have labels, colors, timelines, due dates, so on and so forth. So you can view your particular task or click on add and add new items as you are proceeding with your tasks. Now, what I want to do is I want to scroll down, and you guys can see we even have critical path, physical years, and baselines that we can set up as well. But first, we're going to go into our main table and start adding timelines. So I need this to be completed within this week, then to set up my KPIs, then I'm going to finalize these tasks, then I'm going to set up the task for this. I'm just setting up a couple of different timelines so I can actually show you guys what these are going to look like within your planning boards, like so. Local outreach, so we're just going to add a couple of those over here. Now if I go back into planning over here, you can see that if I refresh my page, my tasks would be available here, and you can click on new group of tasks and you can create your own groups of tasks as well. But I want to go on ahead and scroll to view the tasks that are going to be added, and you guys can see you can filter them by most popular, which team is doing it, so where the condition is a certain value, new filters, new groups, and it's showing all of our 16 tasks right now. Now moving forward, you guys can see this new group was added, but I'm just going to remove that, and now we have our basic task view. And then if we go into our task list over here, this allows us to see how our tasks are going to be completed. Now you guys can see it's displaying them based upon the teams that are doing them. So instead of having the teams be the basic sorting, I can choose a different column. So I can add the timeline ascending as my column, but I like to use progress trackers. So for that, I like to add a separate section for progress or task progressed, or you can also use the to-do list and completed list. So if you want, you can go on ahead, remove this, and then choose the status as the Kanban column from the right. Once you do that, you can show your battery, customize your Kanban board as well. And then if we close this out, I'm just going to open this up. And then from here, everything is under to do. We're going to close out our settings. And then from here, it's going to move into in progress, or based upon the status that it has been selected under. Now, keep in mind, if you remove the categorization system, then you would have everything fall under blank. So you can set up column limits as well to ensure that you're able to track your tasks and know what has been completed and what has not. Now, after that, you have a dashboard for reporting. Within this dashboard, you have the ability to add multiple different widgets. You guys can see this has 6 widgets currently based upon task status, task owner, and overall progress. Now, this is connected to one individual board. You can see on the top it says connected to one board, and you can actually connect multiple different boards all together within one dashboard to have a quick summary. So let's say this is one project that is running. But obviously, our particular business is not going to have just one thing happening at a time. So because you might have multiple things, or you might just have a general workflow you want to build, you're going to add an item to your workspace, and you can add your own board. So this is going to be a brand new board, and this time I'm going to show you guys how boards and templates work. So you're going to click on Start with Template over here. And once you click on Start with Template, you can actually see all the different types of templates that are available. And there is a large, amount of templates from different industries, different niches. So you can truly find a bunch of different templates. You even have AI-powered templates now available within Monday.com's work management. So for us, we are going to proceed and go with project management, and we're going to build a simple board that is going to help us in managing our project in a Agile project manager, such as this one. Usually Agile project management is going to be within a circular loop that is going to just basically resolve issues and bugs. Usually you find this kind of project manager in Agile workflows, software development workflows, so on and so forth. So we're going to click on Agile Project Management, and then you're just going to click on Create, and we're just going to proceed. Now from here, we're going to create our template boards. Now you guys can see that our project management template for our Agile project has been built. Now this is what it looks like. We have our Agile roadmap, and you guys can see this has been categorized with a drag and drop with a simple drop down. And within our drop down, we have our Q1 initiatives as well as our Q2 initiatives. Now, within these Q1, Q2 initiatives, if your business is not working on a yearly, quarterly basis, you can also change the timeline of all of these templates because these are just customizable. You can just use these as a draft for you to get started and then customize individual elements accordingly to your projects. So from here, what we're going to be doing is we are just going to proceed and we're going to take a look at first the roadmap. So the roadmap has these basic each individual quarterly initiatives. Then we have a Kanban view to view the done, working on it, and the not started, and then a current quarter. Then below that, it has our sprint planning, which is the more important section. So first it has a backlog, then it has sprint 1, sprint 2, and then sprint 3. As new work items or as new tasks are being created, new sprints are being created. Then you have a separate section for workload management, which is utilizing the unassigned tasks and individual assignees as the way to filter out the tasks to see how workload is being divided. Then it also has a Gantt view. Now within the Gantt view, you guys can see there is a lot of detail because your task or your spaces or your boards are linked over here, and you're actually able to visually see all of your data. So what needs to be completed when, what is happening on a certain date, everything is going to be listed over here. Now moving forward, we're just going to go on ahead, and if we click on auto fit, we're able to just see everything that is happening. This is just one quarter. You guys can see how this works. And if you want to apply the same, planning section or Gantt view section, you guys can see that within our Gantt chart over here, this is a filter chart. If I delete this view, click on plus, click on Gantt, and then you guys can see our brand new Gantt view and how it is taking all of our tasks and showing them over here. Now, this just shows this 1 month, obviously, because I have not divided it based upon different quarters. But if I want, I can zoom into these filters as well. So if I go in and then go into weekly or daily, I can get a daily view, which is going to be something that a lot of people do appreciate. And then you can click on auto fit to see all of the starting tasks and the ending tasks. So the task that is the nearest and the task that is at the end, which just makes it easier for you to visually view everything and analyze the performance of your projects. Now, moving forward, we're going to take a look at one other type of project template before we launch our own project. So we're going to remove this pop-up shop and our Agile project manager. Instead, I'll show you a simple project manager that is usually what most people are going to opt for. When you get started with templates, you will find project management or project templates, and this is one of the most simplest ones you could use, which is the project management template. So this is multi-project. You have basic project management as well. You also have multi-project and single project. Now, usually I really like to use the multi-project manager because it allows you to manage projects as a business manager or as a team lead. It just makes everything really easy. But if you are looking to manage individual projects and individual boards, then you can use a simple A to Z project manager. So you're just going to click on the simple one and then click on use templates. And just like so, our template has been loaded. So now that our template has been loaded over here, we are going to proceed and we are going to take a look at our first board. So it has a to-do section, then it has a done section, then it has a Gantt view of everything. Now within this, if you want to further automate this, you can click on automate on the top right. And then once you click on automate, you guys can see that you're able to build AI-powered automations, general automations, and integrate with third-party apps as well. So to get started with some of these automations, let's say that I want notifications or productivity-based automations. So whenever a status or a priority changes to something, I want to go with something basic. So I'm going to click on Start with Scratch. Whenever the status of priority changes to critical, then I want to notify. Then I want to notify someone. I want to notify myself, urgent matter, and then the item name, board name, and then username. and then I'm just going to click on done. Now I can just click on create automation. Now this particular automation is a very basic automation which is not going to require any applications to be integrated. But let's say I want to be notified instantly via Gmail. So for that I can click on integrate on the top, and then from here I can click on Gmail. So I'm just gonna scroll and then click on Gmail over here, and then we can connect with our inbox. So there are a few different templates. If every period, every column changes, send an email to someone. So I want this to be, again, a status-based one. And then I'm just going to connect my Gmail account so that I am able to easily and quickly be notified of these changes. You can do this for Slack. You can also set up update messages with these as well, which makes team organizations and teamwork to be easier to navigate because everyone is able to stay up to date on whatever is happening. And you're able to keep accountability, and you're able to just generally track everything very quickly and easily. So from here, we're going to determine whenever the priority changes to critical, then I want to send an email, which is going to be urgent alert. And then this is going to be item name is critical, and the board is board name. And then the username as well. I want to include that. And then to someone, and I'm going to select myself. And just like so, I can proceed with my automations. Now, this automation is going to notify me on Monday, while this automation is going to notify me on Gmail. So if I instantaneously proceed with the priority and select critical, then I should be receiving a automated email to myself. On the bottom right, you guys can see, just like so, an automation sent a notification about an item. And this is going to send out my notification. I would have received it within my alerts. You guys can see I have received my email from monday.com as well. So this is how you are able to send and receive these automations, and you're able to manage these automations very easily. You can see the total number of automations running on the top right, and you can add or remove them as necessary. Now, this was all related to project management and then team management, but sometimes not all of your team members are going to be interested in working on the collective space. So monday.com has a segregated section within each user's dashboard called My Work. When you click on My Work on the top left, you will only see things that are assigned to you. This is not going to be displayed to anyone else, and even if you're in multiple different boards, everything that is assigned to you from each individual board will be displayed here. You even have a More section for quick searches and a template center, and then your own Home section within Monday's Workflow Manager. On your top right, you can explore more products and get access to other monday.com applications. Now, some people might say, hey, if I'm running multiple businesses or projects, should I actually be creating multiple different workspaces? Well, the answer lies between what type of project are they and are interrelated. So this is my brand Spencer, let's say, and then I have this project manager for Spencer. However, if I have a sister brand, which is, also very much related and integrated with this brand, I can simply create a brand new board because all the members might be the same and I need integratable or exchangeable information. However, if you have a completely separate business, then you're going to click on over here and then click on Add Workspace to build a completely new workspace. The reason for that is you can add different members to that space, manage permissions differently, and set it up differently in accordance to that business's need. Now, within your project manager, you do need some type of, data. So let's say I need to include one type of data from here. So I can scroll and then I can click on the plus icon and I can mirror information. This is already included, so it's already mirroring the information. I'm going to show you guys an example from this one. So if I proceed and I click on the plus icon, first off, I'm going to be building a new board, and within that board, this is going to be our project management goals. And within our goals, let's say we're going to be linking these goals. So the group title is going to be goals for September, so on and so forth. Now, just like so, we're gonna go back into our project manager, and if we want, we can proceed with adding mirrors. So if we click on over here, we should click on more columns and find the column for mirroring our information, which makes it easier for you to have interchangeable data. Now, all of this on monday.com is pretty amazing, but it must come at a hefty price. Well, not at all. Monday.com is completely free. So they have a free version, and then if you want to upgrade, you can upgrade to the basic, standard, or pro versions. Now, based upon the number of seats you require, your pricing is going to vary. But when it comes to your basic pricing, when you are going upwards of 40 seats, it's usually not going to change unless you have more than 100 seats within your business. So starting off, their basic plan starts at $9 per seat per month, which is going to be $27 billed annually. This includes free viewers, unlimited items, unlimited boards, and 500 AI credits per month per account, with access to over 200 templates and 20 column types. Then you have their standard plan at $12 per seat per month, which includes timeline and Gantt views, calendar views, guest access, 500 AI credits, automations, and integrations. Then you have their Pro at $19 per seat per month, which includes private boards, chart views, time tracking, formula columns, and 500 AI credits per account per month, with 25,000 automations and integrations per month. They also have business and enterprise plans, which are reserved more so for a larger volume. Now you can get an 18% discount if you're opting for yearly billing, and I would say that Monday.com provides some of the best value that you're going to find out there when it comes to just a simple project manager, because not all project managers are able to deliver the level of depth that you're going to find on Monday. From things like individual tasks, having their own detailed checklists, to adding notes and files and checklists to each task, adding your own customized formulas, and depending on how well your team is blended in, no one is really truly going to have any issues with operating Monday with its colorful and interesting UI. Sometimes it might be overwhelming at first, but once you're set up, it truly is a seamless breeze. So Monday.com provides you with a lot of value as a project manager, and I definitely do think that it's going to help you in making sure you achieve more. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you guys did find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions or queries, you guys can leave those in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching.